Hello, true art believers, and welcome to today's live art stream. This is Pearson here. I hope you're doing well. And let's get to it, shall we? All right, so we're going to be doing a cactus drawing like before. 480, and we're going to be doing 174. Blaze through it today, just like before. Like they're all. We're just gonna go at it. Just gonna go fast, furious. Too fast, too furious. Gonna use a gray as the background, and then we're gonna go ahead and use some circles here. Anyways, I hope you're doing well today, man. Gosh, I don't know, man. There's something up. It's like I've been not the most effective with my time, and I don't know. I need to. Something's got to give. Like that movie. Was it that movie they had that? There was a movie called Something's Got to Give. I think it was like Jack Nicholson or something. But like something's gotta like. There needs to be a shift of sorts, right? There needs to be a shift, and I don't know. It just needs to be a shift in how my mindset. Because lately my mind's just been like, it's just been everywhere, man. Like I have not been effective with my time at all, and I don't know what to say, man. It's just one of those things that you have to be better at. And I was I don't know. I was just watching a video from a bodybuilder named Jay Cutler, and he was talking about work ethic, and he was talking about how, like, I think they brought this up briefly. The notion that work ethic is something that is kind of taught by your parents, and I don't know if I directly agree with that. Like, I think it helps to have that type of like that it helps to have that like it helps to have that type of mentor, like a I don't know, like to have like a mentor who does something like that. But I don't know if it's like an end all be all type thing, right? So I don't know, like if just because your parents were hardworking is going to mean that you're going to be hardworking, or the latter as well, or like your parents could be like lazy individuals and you could be a hard worker as well. You could end up being a very productive member of society. Like it's not always apparent like how you're going to turn out amongst your parents, right? But I would say that being around productive people, being around people that are very assertive and they are effective with their time, I would say that has a positive effect on that can have a positive effect on you. But I don't know, just because you're around people that are just productive individuals does not mean you're going to be productive. Although I do think that there is some truth to that. There's this like statement that I heard from I don't know who it was. Maybe it was like Tim Ferriss, where he said like it was like this rule of averages, and the average was you were like the average of the 5 people that you hang out with. So like who you hang out with kind of determines who you're going to be. And I think there's some truth to that, in the sense that, like, if you're hanging out with, like, not to be, like, harsh, but if you're hanging out with, like, losers, right? Those people can affect your attitude. And I'm not being like, I'm not trying to say anything bad about that, but like that being around people that are negative, it's gonna have it's gonna have an effect on you, whether you like it or not. So all I'm saying is I've been very, very ineffective with my time lately, and I just haven't been very good with it, and I need to get back on track, and part of that is going to mean that I probably have to go to bed early, right? Really seize the day, seize that morning, seize the morning. And I think that's what I need to do, is I need to grab a hold of the morning and really make the morning, control that morning, because there's some science, or there's some just statistics going on, or I don't know if that's statistics, but like a lot of people talk about how if you're able to conquer the morning, you're able to conquer the rest of the day. And as time goes on, I start to see how that can be the case. I can see how being more effective with your mornings can really can really affect the entirety of your day, right? And I talk about this all the time. I just haven't been very effective with my mornings. I haven't been very effective at all. I've been just terrible at it, by the way. I'm just awful. And it shows. Like, everything has been chaos. The fact that I'm able to do things is, I would like to say that it's probably a miracle that I've been able to get anything done, because my mornings have been just awful. You ever have that? Like, your day, like your mornings are just they're a train wreck. My mornings are a train wreck, and I need to really get back into the mix of things and really conquer my morning, because it really is an effective strategy for being more productive and just really getting things done. Because if you're able to get that more successfully capture your morning, it makes things so much easier, because it creates a snowball effect, where it just compounds. And I have not been very consistent at that. And one of the reasons why is because my job at night, my nighttime job, I get off at night, or in the evening, late at night. My job makes it very difficult for me to really gauge when I can go to bed. Some days I can go to bed for my work. If I just go straight to bed get off from work and go straight to bed, I can in theory go to bed at 10. From just going to bed, from just leaving work. But for the most part, a lot of the times I get off at work, I'm getting off at after 10, 11 o'clock. Sometimes I get home at midnight, and it makes it very, very hard to have a successful morning schedule. And for those that are able to get up at a certain time, or are able to go to bed consistently at a set time, I would say, yeah, it is. Because like you go to bed at 10. Yeah, all right. I get to go to bed at 10. Sometimes I go to bed at 10. Sometimes I go to bed at 12. Sometimes I go to bed at 1. And then I'm like, how can I? And if I want to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, which I try to, and then like sometimes it just doesn't happen. But really, what happens after that after work, after my work schedule, is I get off work, and I think this is like synonymous with everyone. Like I've never talked to a person who got home from work and went straight to bed. They've always kind of went to bed a couple hours after they got off work, like 2 hours. Like they kind of decompress, right? And even when I got off work at 9 or 9:30, in order for me to get off at 9:30, I have to like literally hustle. I have to like really push, like work my butt off just so I can get everything done before that time. If I get off at 9:30 and I get home, it's like 10 o'clock, and a lot of us, we don't go to bed immediately. We sometimes we haven't had anything to eat, right? So you make like a late night snack or whatever, right? And then you're at like 10:30, and then so basically you're the fastest you can go to bed is like an hour from the time you get off work. Assuming that you have a short commute. If you have a long commute, which I don't, thank goodness. If you have a long commute, right, it's going to prolong the time that you go before you hit the hay, man. So like, it's very difficult for me to maintain like a solid schedule because of that, and I'm trying to get out of it. I really am. I'm trying to figure out trying to break free from that. To break free from it, but it's kind of difficult, and I'd like to have a job that I'm not. Oops, why am I doing this? I'm getting ahead of myself. I need to go ahead and do the cactus. I was doing something else. Oh my gosh, I was skipping steps. But yeah, like I don't conquer my mornings as well as I used to. And it's starting to be very difficult. Like it's like everything that I'm doing is kind of trailing off in the afternoon, and I kind of, this is my analogy. I feel like I'm just treading water. I think if you, why is it like lagging? What's with that lag? It's definitely lagging. The marks that I'm making are definitely lagging. Well, anyways, I liken it to kind of like you're treading water, right? You're just getting by with the day, right? You're doing the bare minimum. You're getting the day done, right? And you're I don't know, like you're just barely doing like the bare minimum for the day. And that's what it's been like for me lately, is I'm just getting by, just like scraping the day. Like, and it sucks, man. It's been very difficult to kind of just maintain something simple as like doing a live stream every day, or anyways, like it's maintained. It's very difficult. And I don't like hearing like these like these like, I don't know, what would you call them, like time management gurus. I think they need to like just be honest from time to time and say that like things are gonna go terrible from time to time. It's gonna be bad. Like there's gonna be days that you're just not gonna be effective, right? But all of them make it seem like, that they're always going to be on top of everything. They're never going to drop the ball. And I think that's a little disingenuous. I think they need to talk. I think they need to be a little bit more human, like show a little bit more humanity and say like, hey, listen, like I mess my schedule up like all the time. Like it's always. What's going on? Oh, my brush preset. I knew something was wrong. I knew it. I knew it. I was like, why is my brush? Oh, nope. Yep. Something's up. Brush. There we go. I knew something was up. I felt like, why is the brush looking weird? It's not doing the special effects that I want it to do. And it's like, what is going on with this brush? I noticed that the brush weren't doing the like having the qualities of the brushes, like the brush textures that I was looking for. It was just kind of like, just felt a little off. But anyways, I feel like sometimes these gurus and these like people on these YouTube channels just like how I schedule my day and do it day in and day out. Like, come on, dude. Are you always perfect? Are you always hitting 100%? They never talk about how like they never talk about how they stumble. They'll mention that they stumble a little bit, but they kind of like they make it seem like they're just killing it 24/7. And I'm like, come on, guys. Just show a little bit of humanity in you and say that you don't always kill it all the time. You're not always crushing it. You know, there's always going to be days where you're like ineffective with your time, you know, or days where you're like you're emotionally and mentally and physically, you're just not there, you know. I like hearing that more than the just like the person that's always just crushing it. Like they never show any character flaws. And perhaps that's what they have to do in these platforms. They can't show any character flaws because if they do, it might affect their like bottom line, or it might affect their business, and that might very well be the case. But then again, if you're talking about this stuff, you got to be a little bit more honest, right? I think they got to be a little bit more honest with everything, and a lot of the people are not being honest. You know, they're just kind of like saying, I don't know. There's some people that I like to listen to a lot. One guy I listen to is this guy on he has a YouTube station called Daily Refinement. He talks about how to set up a really nice eBay store, and I've been kind of listening to him because I'm trying to do that as a way to kind of increase, you know, just kind of to have some extra income. And he keeps it a little bit more real, you know, than some other people, right? He's more honest about like how he fails with his time management, and I like that. I like hearing that because it makes it more human. It makes me feel like I can relate, right? But when you have like these people, like I've been listening to this guy David Goggins and this other military guy that I don't remember, but like he's like a total BA, total badass, right? And the guy like has super mental strength, and it almost comes off as like he's bragging to a point. Like, I don't know, but he makes it seem, I don't know. I don't know. It's hard. I got to think about this. Like, it's the stuff that some of the people that you listen, some of these things that these people that I listen to are like almost superhuman, you know, and to the point that they probably can't relate to like the average person in like life, I guess. And so like when I hear these guys' stories, like, oh my gosh, they make it seem. They say they say that what the physical things that they did were achievable and that anyone can achieve it. And then, yeah, maybe. You know, like you are an ultra marathon runner. You ran like 200 miles straight. It takes someone of like extreme mental like strength, mental like fortitude to really do something like that. And to say that anyone can do it, maybe like there's some truth to it, but I mean, seriously, dude, do you want to, like, not everyone wants to like put their body in torture like that. And it's not necessarily a healthy thing to do, man. Like I'm curious to see what that guy is going to look like when he's 60, 75. Like how much stress he put on his body. You know, I want to like would he have done it like if he knew have if he had known that like he wouldn't be walking when he was like 70 years old? I don't know. Maybe he's probably will be walking. I don't know. But like it's just it's just like listening to these people. They're motivating, but you got to hold them with a grain of salt, in my opinion, because you can't like not all of us can be like that. You know, there's some people that like have high amounts of energy, and they just have a net default of high levels of energy. You know, and I don't know, like it's just how it is, right? And I'm not saying that you can't increase your like health, increase your physical fitness, so that you have more like ample, like more higher levels of energy in yourself. But sometimes I feel like a lot of these people kind of really sugarcoat it and make it seem more easier to achieve than what they're leading on. I don't like this the way this is going, so I'm just gonna kind of we're just gonna kind of finish it off, and we're just gonna finish it off here. That, and we're going to add one more layer, but this time we're going to do like a pink. It's got a little bit of pink around here, just for fun. A little bit of pink here. Maybe make it a darker pink. There we go, something like that. But yeah, I don't seem to be capturing my mornings as much as I'd like to, and it's frustrating. And I wish I was more effective with my time. I mean, I think maybe talking about it like this is probably a good, like, kind of therapeutic, kind of like you're tackling the problem that you have. And if you're able to at least address the problem, I think that's like half the struggle, right? To kind of address that you are struggling, right? You are having some difficulties and in certain areas of your life. And it's difficult, man. It's difficult. It's challenging. And all of us, we all have our own like burdens and our own difficult things that we have to deal with each day, you know? And I just want to say I can relate, right? We all have, even though we have our own like struggles, we're all kind of like have some things that we have in common, right? We have some things that are in common. We're not all like different everywhere, but like we can all accept the fact that a lot of us have difficulties with our time, difficulties focusing, difficulties managing our time, and how we can all agree that we would like to be better in that field to some extent. And I think part of the way that you can improve that is to just acknowledge it. Acknowledge that you do, that you are not as effective with your times as you could be. I think acknowledging that is a good step in the right direction for many of us, right? And I try to acknowledge it the best that I can, and at least accept that I'm a mess, except when I am effing up, right? And I do it often. I do mess up constantly. Like I'm totally, I'm bad with my schedule. Like the only thing that's keeping me my like schedule kind of intact is just the fact that I'm kind of being relatively consistent with certain things in my day to day. When I do them is not consistent though. Like I really need to be more consistent with the time frame. And lately, it's been very hectic. As you know, we had the 4th of July, and it threw me off. Like I'm going to be behind. I'm behind because of it. Like literally, the 4th of July kind of threw me off. I stayed up at 2 a.m. one day, stayed up till like 3 a.m. the other day, and that is wrecking. Like I just realized that I try to do that because that's the only time I have free for myself, is to like kind of stay. In order for me to enjoy to have like some semblance of like free time, I have to stay up late, because I don't have like a 9-to-5 job where I can have my evenings available to me. And that's one of the sad things. One of the things that I'm kind of disappointed, like I'm upset about, is like I don't have that 9-to-5 job where I can kind of have a 5 to 10 available to me. I don't have that. I have like sometimes a 9 to 11, or sometimes a 9 to 10. I don't know. Sometimes a 7 to 10. Like the days that I have, like those days are really chaotic and hard to coordinate. And yeah, it can be difficult. It's very, very hard. It's very hard to kind of mess around with that type of schedule. Tell you what, though, I'm not doing too good with this cactus drawing today. I'm kind of like, I'm not crushing it, to be honest with you. I feel like my mental state right now is kind of affecting how this drawing is going. I got a lot on my mind. I have some things I have to do after this that I'm not really thrilled about doing, or not really wanting to do, and I'm like trying to procrastinate the most that I can. Don't you hate it? Don't you ever like don't you do that? Don't you ever do that? Like I know that, I think that's like a thing that I do. Is like I have this important thing I got to do, and so in order to do it, like I won't do it. I'll just like procrastinate. Like I'll literally find an excuse. I'll like, oh, I got this really important thing I got to do. Let's not do that and do something completely different, you know? And so I'm kind of procrastinating doing it, and I can feel myself kind of, yeah. I know when I should not be doing this, or I know that I should not procrastinate. And the reason why I'm procrastinating on some of these things, because I don't like the idea that of constantly having to work, where I constantly have to do things. And as I was saying, like I feel like I'm just treading water sometimes, and that's what a lot of this feels to me. Is like, it feels like I'm just kind of like treading water, and I'm not really making an impact or making a dent with anything. I feel like I'm not really getting forward, like moving forward with some of the stuff that I'm doing, and it's that like feeling that of not really progressing forward that can kind of psychologically like make us not want to do that thing, right? And that's what I feel like. That's what I feel like is happening right now. Is I feel like I'm not progressing in the direction that I want to with a lot of the things that I'm doing at the moment, and it's starting to kind of like rub me psychologically the wrong way, and I feel like it's, I don't know. I just feel like it's things could be going a little bit smoother and so forth. I don't know. This cactus is taking a little longer than normal, so I think I'm going to call it on this one. And what we're going to do is we're going to add we're going to add a little bit of this highlight on the bottom here. Yeah, a little bit like there. Something like that is kind of cool. Some of this gray on the side here. Maybe a little bit right here. Yeah, and then maybe kind of get like a, there you go, something like that. And we're just going to add our thorns and call it a day. Well, one other thing, let's go add another layer. And first, let's kind of make like some dark blue. Some dark blue here. Add a little bit of like some blue here. So notice that that's like kind of a darkish blue there, right? Add a little bit of dark blue here. And then right here, add a little bit more dark blue. Just kind of change it up a little bit. Add some color variety. And then one more layer, we're going to use these skin brushes that I've been playing around with lately on these cactuses. And then we're going to add some thorns and call it a day, man. I'm going to get some of this green here. Yeah, and then what we're going to do is we're going to get our eraser. Press the eraser tool. Brush, come on, what are you doing? Okay, and we're going to lightly erase some of this stuff here. Like that. There we go. And yeah, we'll leave it like that. And maybe go back and press B and do the thing. Do it a little bit like this, but only make the flow a little bit less. Make it a little bit more transparent. Something like this. There we go. And now I think that's it. We're going to add our thorns and call it a day. But yeah, all I can say is the best thing you could probably do with your schedule is really conquering that morning, man, and being consistent. Because I know that when I'm on it, like I'm literally on point, I become unstoppable. But like what happens is my work schedule really hinders that. Like I have to like I go really well for a while, and then all of a sudden I have 1 or 2 days at my work where I get off at like 12 o'clock at night. And I just can't recoup that, and I'm like exhausted. Whoa! I dropped my pen. I dropped my pen. Gotta pick it up. I'm just like exhausted, and I'm just struggling to just like make do with yeah, I'm just struggling to make do. But it becomes very tough. Yeah, let's make this darker. So we're going to use like small thorns like before. Just kind of like sprinkle them on here. But my schedule has been very like just like sus at like mediocre at best, you know. And as I said, like it's all determined on like my work, and if I'm able to get off at a reasonable time, and sometimes I'm able to, sometimes I'm not. And lately, because of like my urge to like self-sabotage, I guess I'm like purposely self-sabotaging. I know what I'm doing. Like I'll stay up late because I don't get to watch shows or any type of like Netflix shows. And like if I have a bit of free time and I want to binge watch them, I want to watch all the shows I can, because who knows when I'm going to be able to sit down and watch a bunch of shows again. Like that is a major thing. Like I don't know when I'm going to be able to watch another series, or when I'm going to be able to watch another show. Like it's all like up in the air. Like I might be able to watch a show here and there, but I'm not going to be able to see a series. It'll take me, if I never watched if I never did what I did, like that self-sabotaging, watching a series in one go, I would never get anything. I would never watch anything. Like I already watch very little comparatively. Like my coworkers and people I talk to would always say like, "Did you watch this show?" I'm like, no, I haven't seen it. It's like, don't you have Disney Plus? I'm like, I don't. No, I don't have Disney Plus. I don't have. No, like, why? Because like I don't have time to watch the shows that are on Netflix, let alone have multiple shows on multiple platforms to watch more than one. I barely have enough time to watch the shows on Netflix and Amazon, right? I say barely. I mean, I'm being very, very generous. Like I don't even have any. But yeah, this one turned out okay. It took a little longer than normal because I was kind of chatting it up. Let's see here. Let's go use a pink brush for the signature, and we're just gonna call it a day, man. Yeah, man. I am almost done, and then gonna call it a day. I really need to sit down. I talk about this all the time, and it never flipping happens because I'm terrible with my time. I need to sit down and just like write down things to talk about during my live streams because I feel like I'm able to filibuster okay, but like I think if I were to just sit down, it's been an extra 5-10 minutes, writing down, planning out like some sort of prompts, I think I'd be much better off. Let's go ahead and do like a pink, yeah, a pink signature at the bottom, the very bottom here, like right here. So T P 22, and this is Cactus number 174 out of a possible 1,000. 174, and it is day 489. Pretty good. So that's pretty good. I am done, my friends. Totally done. Got a few things. Oh, do I really want to do it? I don't want to do it. Perhaps I shouldn't. I think I'm going to do it. Anyways, I want to say thank you so much for I'm just contemplating whether or not I want to do a few things before I go to bed. But anyways, I just want to say thank you so much for watching today's live art stream. This is Pearson here. I am the #1 live art streamer in the world. And I hope to see you again tomorrow. And if not, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and share this video. I really do appreciate you. And I wish you all the best. And have a wonderful day. Cheers.